this is P4L. In today's P4L review, we'll be taking a look at the next or second or maybe third release from Open and Play or Open Play, depending on how you read it. Their Galvatron or Big Cannon is what they're calling it. Apparently, somebody said on the boards that their name for Big Cannon, Big Spring, when in Chinese, actually translate to like big balls and big penis, which I think is kind of funny, but I don't know how much truth there is to that. In any case, this guy was being sold at TFcon DC 2017 for I think $50, which is a really good price I think for this guy. Open and Play their Springer, Big Spring that they had on sale at TFcon Toronto, I think was $60, and people really like that, and I actually thought it was a pretty good Springer, especially for the price as well. This guy is pretty much a oversized and retooled Titan's Returns Voyager Galvatron that they had, but obviously redone in G1 styling. But the transformation and so forth is pretty much the same from what I was told. I don't actually have that figure. From what I can see though, and from what everyone is saying, it's pretty much the case. So, let's actually do a quick 360 on this guy. I think he looks quite good. I do think he feels a little bit cheaper than their Big Spring. Like, he's a little bit lighter. I think he's considerably lighter. I don't think he has any die cast in him. And, but he feels pretty solid. He's not like floppy or anything like that. The plastic does feel, again, pretty strong, but it does have like a cheapness feel to it. And I don't know how else to describe that. It's a solid plastic. It feels strong, but it doesn't feel like high quality for some reason. In any case, let's do some quick comparisons. Unfortunately, I don't have Fans Toy Sovereign, so you'll just have to deal with the comparison with is it DX9's Tyrant? Yeah, I think it's DX9's. Who else do we have? Here he is with MP10, so a bit taller than MP10, which I think that scale works pretty well. And then Megatron, the official Megatron, and he's a little bit taller than Megatron as well. And again, I think that scale works just fine for this figure. In terms of articulation, he has a hinged neck here and a swivel. Oh, let's actually look at his face sculpt real quick. Let's see if I can zoom in. I think they did a really good job on his face sculpt. I'm trying to get it centered without, yeah. Some people didn't like it. I actually think it looks quite good. Nice mean eyes. And the crest looks pretty good. He does have a decent amount of paint that's pretty well applied everywhere. Like there's red paint, silver paint. He has a translucent barrel. And some gunmetal paint apps that are kind of shiny. Like flecked. On the treads as well. So quite nice. He does have some hollowness in the legs, which you're not really going to be able to see unless you kind of look at here. But overall, I think they did a pretty good job. And for $50, when you were paying, I think, $25 for Voyager Titan's Return, I don't think it's a bad price at all for this guy. So let's go ahead and get into transformation. Let's go ahead and get the cannon. Oh, sorry, I was doing articulation. So let's talk about that as well. The peg is actually a hexagonal peg going into a hexagonal port, so you can't actually rotate it. You have to like pull it out, and you can rotate it in very specific angles, which I think is weird. Sometimes you see hexagonal ports with a round peg. I don't know why they chose to do it this way. I think it's limiting for no reason other than to limit, maybe just to make it a more solid connection. What else does he have? He has ratcheted shoulders both ways. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which you're going to need for transformation. He actually does have a wrist swivel, and his hands are kind of MP10 style, so he has a pointer finger which has 2 pins, so you can kind of do that sort of straight point, and then the rest of the 3 fingers are one molded piece. does have a waist swivel, but you kind of have to undo his backpack here. So this kind of pegs in like this. Doesn't really work otherwise. You're gonna kind of have to fake it. So that's kind of a bummer. No ab crunch. He does have hip skirts that kind of move out of the way to allow him to do his kicking. You can go all the way out, even more than 90 degrees. Go all the way back like that. Ratcheted knee joints, which give him a nice, pretty nice knee bend, almost 90 degrees. And then down here he has a, here, let's see if I can show this off. So he has a hinge here, which is kind of limited by the sculpting on his calves. And then his actual foot is on a pivot as well, or hinge as well, so he does have some ankle tilt. One thing, he does have some unnecessarily unnecessary applied silver paint detail, but again, it's kind of nice that they went ahead and did that. Not a whole lot of surface detailing, so if you're part of the new school of Kobayashi simple cartoon style, this might fit into your collection quite well compared to some of the others. His cannon can fit into either one of his arms. No big deal. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get into transformation. Again, this guy is pretty much a Titans Returns transformation from what I can tell. I don't know because I never handled that figure firsthand. But from what I'm told, pretty much the same. So let's just open up the fists, the forearms to put the fist in. And they tab back in closed. Double jointed elbows will tab into the shoulders here. You're going to bring this tread piece down on a hinge. And then you can actually rotate this. Which way are we going to rotate it? I think we're going to rotate it down like this. And you can use either that joint or this joint here. So same thing on the other side. We're going to open this up. Flip in the fist. Close it up. Double jointed elbows. There we go. Move this around like that. Next thing we'll do is deal with his head. Just come in here, pull open the chest, fold this down, and I'll reveal the port where the cannon will go once we actually get that transformed. On the back, untab here, rotate 180 degrees, fold this up, and then you're going to kind of do a double jointed move here where this tab now goes into this slot like so, and that kind of absorbs his little spire or something like that for his cannon mode. The legs, open these up, you have these little thingies which will be kind of the stabilizer in the back. How this works is you have this like tab here. You're going to want to pull on this, and then that will release the knee joint. And you're going to want to go like this. So this is going to kind of sit like this. And you're just going to collapse the leg in on itself like so. Do that for this side as well. I feel like this is a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Oh, sorry, and you have to fold the feet in. Sorry about that. Once again, I'm going to rotate at the thigh swivel, which did I mention the thigh swivel? Hopefully I did. There's the thigh swivel. It's the one joint that I always seem to skip. And then the two halves will peg together. Like there. And these two halves come together like this. They tab in all the way down this little handly thing. And then the cannon, you just flip this down like so, and you have that hexagonal peg. It's not as sturdy because it doesn't lock into place this way. It does lock into place when you put it down, but when you put it up, it's kind of just free floating. So you gotta kind of finesse it. There we go. And here we are with Big Cannon in his cannon mode. As far as articulation goes in his alt mode, he really... Oh, sorry. Oh. And then lastly, you're going to want to fold these pieces down. like that. And with that, you have Big Cannon in his alt mode, or his cannon mode. It looks okay. It doesn't look fantastic. As far as articulation, you really just have it down here, and then again at these joints here, and at the shoulder. I feel like you should just keep the shoulders in place, but it's really up to you. And nothing much going on with the cannon, again, because it's a hexagonal port and hexagonal. I don't know why I'm having such trouble saying hexagonal peg going into the port itself. You can't really rotate it. Not that you would really want to in this mode. You could probably do some fan modes with this and probably make it a hand cannon. I'm not going to bother doing that. That's up to people much more creative than I. As far as size, he is quite long. Here's 2.5 streaks long, like 2 streaks wide, so pretty big. Just because I have him, you can see just how big he is compared to Howling Meteor from Make Toys. Could recreate that scene where he gets shot and crumbles. But yeah, that's really it for his alt mode. Let's go ahead and transform him back very quickly, and then we'll finish off with final thoughts as before. Just go ahead and extend the legs. They'll lock back into place. No need to mess with that little tabby thing this time around. Flip the feet down. Fold these pieces up. Just kind of tuck them in. They'll settle, and this kind of tabs in. Same thing here. You can probably do... yeah, you kind of have to rotate it upwards. There we go. And tab this, rotate at the waist joint 180 degrees. And since we're already dealing with this, we can just go ahead and close this up. Flip this like so, and that will tab into place. Get rid of the cannon. Open up his chest so that you can rotate out the head. Close it up, and that tabs in. The shoulders, move these up like so. Get these in place and kind of lock them in. Not really lock, but these things just kind of keep it so that they don't rotate so much in robot mode. Get the arms with this back. Open up the forearms. Flip it out using this tab, which is nice. It's always nice to have little tabs like this to make opening these kind of ports easier. Same thing on the other side. And with that, we're done getting Big Cannon back in robot mode. So very simple transformation. Pretty cool looking, and for what it is, it does a good job getting a fairly good looking alt mode and robot mode out of this mold. I do like that, as far as final thoughts, I do like that Open and Play is keeping the price point very low. I mean, this is definitely in leader Hasbro price range for 50 bucks as opposed to, I guess, 45 bucks, or depending on where you are, it might be even 50 bucks for a leader class figure. This guy is definitely at least leader class. I would say the overall quality is around Hasbro leader class quality, except the paint, the plastic seems much more sturdy, and they tend to do a little bit more paint apps on this guy here. So if you're into first-party figures, I don't think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be pleasantly happy with the quality here. However, if you're into the masterpiece collecting and expect that level of quality, you're not going to get that here. And at 50 bucks, you'd be kind of foolish to actually think you would get that level of quality in a figure this large. That said, I think it's pretty fun. Their mantra of being able to just open and play with these figures without having to do anything totally complicated, I think rings more true with this guy than it did with their Big Spring, which was a little bit more complicated. This guy's pretty simple, and again, if you've had a mess with the Titan's Return Galvatron, it's not going to be that many surprises. So there's a lot of pluses here. The minuses are, again, you kind of do lose that overall quality feel for a masterpiece figure. There are some corners that they cut to make it a little bit less accurate in the various modes, the alt mode and the robot mode. But by and large, I think he's a pretty good addition to a lot of collectors' shelves. especially if they haven't been happy with the $200, $150, $200 Galvatrons that we've gotten so far from Fans Toys and DX9 or whoever it was, and such and so forth. So, with that, we're going to bring the review to an end. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video and it helped you in any way, shape, or form, please give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with all the reviews I've been doing following TFcon DC. There's still more to come, and I'm probably going to do a live stream this coming up weekend to do kind of a Q&A against all the figures that I reviewed this week or something like that. Alright? If you guys want to pick this guy up, I think they will be available on Toy Dojo's site. It's not fully released yet. Again, they just had, I think, like 50 or so at TFcon DC, and they were loose. I don't know if they're going to be coming in packaging. I assume they will upon full release. Alright? That's all for today, everyone. Hope you have a good one.